that will submit to God's will and will obey. It's possible. Who? Then tell me who.
You heard of King David? King Solomon?
King David?
Yeah, he sinned. Okay, I was out of lust, but what about King Solomon? He went off.
How many wives did he have?
Yeah,
thousands.
And what did God say in the Mosaic Law? No. One wife.
He didn't say that.
He didn't say that.
Show me.
Did.
Show me where it says that. Give me
husband of one wife.
Okay, so let's use wisdom. You think you could handle 100 wives?
You did?
No, I'm asking you.
If I had the money.
You know women?
Huh? But you see, there's a difference. You see,
I got two and broke his head.
You see, King Solomon, he was a king. If you watch any old movie, right, about a king, does not a king have a wife and does he have concubines? It's about how much substance you have, right? And you're just an ordinary man, got your own little tent, you know. You may only take one. But wait a minute, you're talking about Jacob, right? How many women did Jacob have?
Oh, more than he should have.
More than he should. Okay. Okay, listen. That's the scripture on that. Now, wait. No, he said more than he should. That's an opinion. That's fine. He can have an opinion. But it's not against the law. Because the Lord blessed each one of those women with children. But so if he was against it, he would have said, what are you doing?
In Matthew 19:3-9, referring, Jesus is speaking of Genesis 2:24, it states a man should only have one wife.
Read it. Read Matthew
19:3-9.
Now give me the law looking for.
19.
He probably won't do around 17.
No, he says in the Mosaic law, we got to show him that that's not true. We got to go to the Mosaic
I got something right here.
Can you quote the scripture, sir?
I'm going to look it up. Good question.
Exodus 21 and he probably won't do around 17. Exodus 21 and 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish.
Give me Deuteronomy 21.
I can see how because if a woman died, the brother, oldest brother is to be.
Well, you're just saying, like, if you got a wife, but then you're going to take another wife, you still got to take care of that first wife. You just can't treat her. See, that's a contract.
Okay, I'll submit that one.
I got one more for you.
Deuteronomy chapter 21.
There's a fun fact. If you look up in America why they teach monogamous relationships and say it's illegal to have more than one wife, they got it from the Roman Empire.
Deuteronomy 21:15. If a man have two wives, one beloved and one hated, another hated, then they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and of the firstborn son be hers that was not hated. Let me read it again. If a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated.
So we're going back into
what you see with who in the Old Testament? Yeah. No, Moses, Hagar, Sarah.
Yeah, you talking about
Abraham.
You talking about Abraham.
Abraham, yep.
But she wasn't hated though. Okay.
Sarah.
She wasn't hated by Abraham. Abraham loved.
No, Abraham loved both of them, but Sarah didn't. It created a division.
So he's saying so we're going back to the.
And then who would you say is Ishmael's offspring?
The Ishmael offspring today, what you call Arabs.
Okay, I agree.
They're like our cousin. So we're going back into the whole, the elder gets the inheritance. This is another example. Read that again.
And if a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn.
So if he had two, that's the order right there. But that goes to show you right there that the Heavenly Father is okay with it. You know, it's only in America, and because this is really a society built off of women, where they try to condemn you. Oh, you're sleeping around. But you don't understand that it's just in a man's nature. You got one wife, one woman, but then you go out and you make it with another one. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of it, if your wife is on a period, technically she's unclean for like a whole 9 days. What's a man supposed to do with that time? Go to someone else.
And we can have concubines.
Yeah, concubines. Which is really a woman of the other nation. They're just treated less than a wife. You see, we're teaching the world, we're teaching the world God. We're teaching them Yahweh. The world has a misconception of how God is. God loves everybody. That's not true.
No, that's not very different in his character in the Old Testament. So how do you take the I will bless those who bless you and I will curse those who curse you in reference to Israel?
So those who blessed us, got blessed. Those who cursed us, is cursed.
How does history?
Okay, let's take Jacob for example. If you're pretty familiar with Jacob, we can even let's go before. No, let's take Jacob. Then we go to Joseph. Jacob was under the household. What was his father's name? Laban.
Yeah.
They was flourishing, right? Let's go further. Joseph was who made Egypt great? It was Joseph. Would you agree? Joseph
Oh,
was
yeah.
second in command of Pharaoh.
Yep.
So Egypt did well because of the wisdom of Joseph. Because that whole famine that happened for I forgot how many years, it was through the wisdom of Joseph. He said, "Look, we need to store up food for a number of years." So when the Lord sent Jacob down there, they was able to survive. Look at King Nebuchadnezzar. Daniel, he was the second. So
What about today, though? That's my question. Because you're making the argument right here just by this. But if I look at, and I just go North American Indians.
Okay. Who's blessing them?
Yeah.
Right. That's
No
my
nation
question.
is blessing Israel today.
Nobody is. But we're
When you have
cursed.
like the Crow Indian and the Sioux Indian in Montana killing each other for more territory, and they're supposed to be related.
But that's the curses.
Yeah, that's the curses. You know, there's always going to be like gang violence and stuff like that. It's no different. And honestly, I would say it's because of the so-called white man we call Esau that they created a type of mentality to divide the two. Have you ever heard of blood quantum tests? Okay, so the Native American Indians have these so-called rights. What's it called? Benefits?
Yeah.
Something like that. It's like a law. Privileges of some sort.
Yeah, for their degree of how native they are.
Yeah.
Oh, to determine whether they have Native American inheritance rights.
Exactly.
That would be 1/16.
Yeah, they do quantum blood tests, and I think it's like 1 out of 4, whatever. So if they test your blood and they say, this is an insult, okay? To say, oh, you want benefits? Well, you're gonna have to prove that you're Native American. We're gonna test your blood, and if you fall short, you're not in. But if you pass, then you're not. What that did was divide it and cause tension between the ones who were so-called full quantum or so-called who aren't.
Oh, I
So
agree.
there could be tension right there. In slavery, this so-called white man put light skin over dark skin.
And why did the African tribes turn on each other and sell each other into slavery?
Okay, so what we're gonna explain to you is that the Egyptians and Israelites, so-called Negroes and Africans, just because we look the same, but we're not the same.
No, like Rwanda. In Rwanda, you have two the Hutus and the Tutsis. Why do they turn on each other?
Well, I'm going a little deeper. I'm saying what separates really us from Africans is our spirit.
Okay.
Exodus 11 and 7, somebody. It's our spirit, right? Our bloodline. If we were the same people, where is the African Muhammad Ali? The African Michael Jordan, Floyd Mayweather, Michael Jackson, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Temptations. Nelson Mandela wasn't one of us.
He was the real him.
He was just a motivational speaker for, say, Africans.
What was
See,
great
there's-
about Mandela?
I would say
motivational speech, turning the other cheek, that type of attitude.
he fulfilled. I don't know that I could do what he did, but he endured.
Yeah.
You look at
Took
the
ass.
what are the fruits of the spirit?
What did he endure? Was he a Christian? I'm saying, was he a Christian?
So you see, our spirits are different. You know the customs they have over there, true
but
Africans.
Are all the men that you mentioned Christian from America?
What did we mention?
Most of them, some of them are. Not Muhammad Ali. He was in Islam, but his spirit, he was different.
Right.
And
What makes-
Mandela knows we're different.
Pardon me?
Mandela knows the so-called black Americans are a different race from his people.
So I'm gonna read this and we're gonna bring that. It's like, I probably did say it.
Yeah, we was on a different topic. Like you said.
Got a scripture for you. Then I'm gonna bring out some definition.
So, quick question: how long have you been studying the Word? Years.
Differs. I'm about 10 years old.
And how old are each of you? You said you're 26?
Young man.
How old are we?
Yeah.
Like Exodus 11.
This is Exodus chapter 11 and verse 7. And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two.
Can I read the definition of ham?
I want to read this verse.
This is Exodus chapter 11 and verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
The Lord put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. Eventually, he separated from them, showing you that he loved the Israelites, not the Egyptians, and that and the Egyptians were actually so-called black people as well. They actually got hologlyphs of a dark nation ruling over another dark nation. You got the definition? Dr. Watt? Oh, you got the definition?
Con.
Go ahead. So if you go, everybody on the planet goes back to Noah's 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth.
Yep.
Shem came out of, that's where Abraham came out of. This is what Isaac came out of. This is where Jacob and Esau came out of. Japheth is where Hawaiians came out of. What's the other?
Polynesians.
Polynesians. A lot of these different Aborigine people, like the Aborigines of Australia, the Tasmanian people.
Now, out of Ham came so-called African races. I'm just gonna break it down. Go ahead.
This is out of the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Definition of ham, it says, perhaps hot. The youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races.
All right, the dark races. Go ahead.
Not the Negroes,
Not the Negroes. Go ahead.
but the Egyptians,
Africans.
the Ethiopians,
Africans.
Libyans,
Africans.
and Canaanites.
So he came from Ham. What truly separates us is our spirit. That's why I said, if you look at the things we do, we don't do the same thing they do. So that's why they had no problem selling us into slavery, because they knew we were different. And the so-called white man knew we were different. They made an agreement. Hey, all them Jews that fled down there, round them all up. We'll make a deal. I'll give you guns and muskets and wine and other stuff to sell those Jews. And also show you, if you just Google Hamitic, all right, this is Google. Google Hamitic or Wikipedia, it'll tell you. All right, another way to classify the people into Hamitic or non-Hamitic is by ethnic groups. Negroid people perceived as Shemitic as opposed to Hamitic. So even Google would tell you we're not the same. See, it's a lot to learn.
So how does all this conflict between our races resolve?
How does it resolve? Give me.
You're not saying that it's impossible for. I'm not sure how you classify this, whites and blacks, to have sincere brotherhood relationships.
Okay, I'll say this: if it was possible, it would have happened already. The only peace is going to be established, that's in the scriptures, is that the Lord is going to, like He told His disciples, He shall sit on the 12 thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. The true rulers of the planet, the reason why the planet was created in the first place, God knew it was going to be Israel, for Israel's sake. The Israelites are going to be back in power, right? But what He said was,
Jeremiah 30:16.
okay,
Revelation 7.
like what He said was, the Israelites are going to be on top, and all the nations that afflicted them, that told them that they weren't Israelites, that put them in slavery, that exploited them, locked them up, threw them in jail cells, racial profiled them, all that, right? They're going to serve the Israelites. They're going to serve us, right? And it's going to be a hardcore punishment. The Lord said, pretty much it's righteous to see your enemy downfall and so forth. He promised that. And I'm going to show you to it. You got something?
I'm gonna say something real quick. Like you mentioned, the nations that blessed us, we will bless them, basically, right? Or God will bless them. The nations that cursed us, God will curse them. So no nation blessed us in these last 1,000 years, whatever. But every nation cursed us, right? These people on the sign. Every nation has cursed the people on the sign. So their curses is going to be them going into slavery up under these people.
That's right.
And if I can hit this real quick, Jeremiah 30:16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil. All the nations spoil us, and they that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. They all preyed upon us. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord, because they call thee an outcast. Niggas, spics, wetbacks, saying, this is Zion whom no man seeketh after.
And that's true. Nobody stands up for us. Close the border down. We're tired of those damn spics ruining our country. Whose land is this? It's our people.
And it said, all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. When these other nations come over here, what neighborhoods do they open their stores in?
Exploit.
Usually.
Yeah, exploit. It's us.
In the black neighborhoods, right? They're preying on us. They're preying on our ignorance. They're preying on our curses right now.
That's right. They come like, say, Asians. They come and they make deals with you guys. They don't make deals with us. The only deals they're trying to make with us is a transaction, okay? We'll sell you some weed, we'll do your nails and all that, but get the hell out of our store. In fact, we're gonna stop you while you're coming to our store. While they're attending your colleges and never see them get pulled over and treated like crap is us, right? Like, give me Isaiah 4, chapter 14. Isaiah chapter 14. Go ahead.
14 and 4?
14. No, just chapter 14.
This is Revelation chapter 2 and verse 25.
Another point I have to stress before.
But that which ye have already hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations.
So whoever is delivered will have power over the nation.
And he shall rule them with the rod of iron.
He shall rule with the rod of iron. Go ahead.
And the vessels of a potter shall they be broken into shivers, even as I received of my Father.
So he said, wait a minute. Those who are going to be saved are going to rule over the other nations as a rod of iron, and you're going to break them in pieces. So the Lord is talking about pretty much payback, right?
So, but when we go to heaven,
Well,
what does it
actually,
say about heaven?
okay. First, I want to read that.
So it doesn't sound like there's any humans that are ruling
Actually,
in heaven.